Hi everyone, I'm Kayla. Welcome to my channel where we talk all about project management, building businesses, freelancing. There's all kinds of good stuff happening here. So if you're interested, I would love to invite you to subscribe. On to today's topic. Today we are going to talk about 10 signs project management might be right for you. And I can't believe with all the videos I have out there about project management, I've never done a video like this before. So I wanted to make this video to help those of you who are maybe interested in project management and you're trying to figure out if this is the right path for you. I put together this list of 10 signs project management might be right for you. And I based it on my own experience, feedback that I've gotten throughout my career, things that I've seen in more senior people that are amazing project managers, and folks that I've mentored that are more junior and things that I've recognized in them. And I'm like, ooh, they're going to make a good project manager. I put together this list of 10 things and I want to share it with you. But before we get started, I just want to remind you that this is my list, right? It's things that I've recognized. You could have traits that aren't on this list and be an amazing project manager. In fact, I hope you do. You could not check all of the boxes on my list and still be an amazing project manager. You could not be very good at some of the things that I mentioned, but that doesn't mean that you can't get better. So don't take this list as like you have to have all of these things. But if you're on the fence or you're wondering about project management and you watch this video and you have a bunch of aha moments and these things resonate with you, then I would encourage you to continue looking into project management because it might be the right path for you. Okay. Let's get started. Sign number 1, you often get complimented on your communication skills, both written and verbal. Now, this is a big one, right? Because we know communication makes up so much of project management. We're communicating with stakeholders, with subject matter experts, with senior leadership, with other project managers. There is all kinds of communication happening all the time in project management. And first of all, you have to be okay with that. You have to know that that's part of what you signed up for. So if you don't like talking to people, you don't like communicating, then already that's a big red flag for project management. Second, we want to always become better at our communication skills. Now, this is one that you will develop over time, you'll become better at, but you'll notice as you're working with project managers who are really good at what they do, they perhaps communicate differently with different types of people, and they know how to do that. Maybe with more technical people, they are using more data and analytical speech. Maybe with more creative folks, they're using more analogy and metaphor. They know this, they recognize this, they know how to work that. The other thing is, and this is in your written communication, I'll give you a tip here. You'll notice that really good project managers often don't send long emails with like big jumbled up paragraphs, right? First of all, nobody wants to read that. It takes up too much time. It's too confusing. You have to go back and read the thing like 5 or 10 times. We don't speak like that in our email communication. We often speak in bullet points. The way that I do this is I write, especially if it's some sort of instruction or directive or something that I want to get across very clearly, I will write it and then I'll pare it down to like 50% of what I originally wrote, because there are ways to be very clear and very concise, and they usually don't involve a lot of words. So the more that you can structure your communication in a way that gets your point across and speaks to your audience, the better. And one of my tricks for doing that is bullet points. Now, how do you know that you're a good communicator? Well, same way you know that you're good at anything else professionally or in your job. People will start to tell you. And the best way to get this feedback is from your leadership or from your managers or on an employee performance review. That way you know that this is real. It's real feedback. And the more that you're hearing from people that you work with, wow, thank you. You're such a clear communicator. Thank you for communicating that so clearly. When Kayla explained that, I just had a light bulb go off. I knew what she was talking about. This is the kind of feedback that you want, and you know that you're on the right track with your communication. Okay, number 2, when you have a project to tackle, you naturally and effortlessly break it down into bite-sized pieces. Now, I see this a lot with project managers who don't even know that they really have a project manager mind yet. I saw it in myself as a child. I did this. I would just naturally kind of break things down into a work breakdown structure. Before I even knew what that meant, what a WBS was, I was doing that. That's how I thought about getting my work done. I knew that I had a big thing that had to be done, and I need to break it down and then break it down some more. If you have a brain that works like that naturally, that is a good sign that project management might be right for you. Now, I've noticed that people who make really good project managers often think like this. They have kind of like a puzzle piece brain is what I call it. And you might be good at games. I'm really good at games. I think in this way where I see all the different pieces and how we could put them together. And that's part of it. That's part of the project manager brain. So if you have that, you might make a good project manager. Number 3 is while you are a planner, you also understand the value in moving beyond planning to get the job done. This balance helps you move forward with your work in a smart, strategic way. Now, project managers are natural planners, and I think part of that is the puzzle piece brain that I mentioned before. We know that there are all these pieces out there, and we have to be strategic about how we put them together. So naturally, we're going to develop a plan, but we don't get too stuck in that front end planning. The really good project managers don't. We understand that we have to have a plan, that the plan needs to be a little flexible because it never works out the way that we think it will. So we have to have a plan, but move forward appropriately to actually get the job done. We're not getting stuck in analysis paralysis, although I will note that more junior project managers probably will. I know that I did when I was first starting out. I would analyze, and I would have a hard time moving forward because there's always risks. You know that it's not going to work out as planned, so it could be a little bit scary to pull the trigger and actually start to move forward. But very good project managers know this balance. They know the balance of the plan versus getting stuff done. So if you know that dance, if you're good at that, then project management might be right for you. Along the same lines, you have the ability to keep that vision at the front of your mind while also clearly recognizing the details that need to come together to make it happen. One of the best compliments I ever received was when a developer told me that I was one of the best project managers that he had ever met because I was able to strategize long term without losing that agility of, getting things done in the day-to-day and being flexible and being able to move around. This is a great sign that you're going to be a good project manager is, again, being able to do that dance, have that balance between seeing the vision and knowing what it takes to get it done, and then taking the steps day in and day out to actually get there. People often get stuck in one or the other. And this is where a strong project manager can come in and be an absolute asset to a team. That person that comes in and is like, hey, you know what? We can't ever forget the North Star. Like, here's where we want to go. But day in, day out, we have to focus on those tactics, right? To actually get the job done. A good project manager is going to be able to see both at once. Again, it's that strategy piece of our brain. It's that puzzle piece of our brain. We know what the puzzle looks like. We know there are all these pieces. We know it's going to come together, but it's not going to come together in the order likely that we thought it would. But that doesn't scare us. That doesn't deter us. We still know how to move forward. A great project manager can see all of that and work it. Number 5, I like this one because I have seen this a lot for myself and for others. So sometimes your friends and family will tease you because you're always aware, or you can always see the potential risks in any situation. It's like you could just see something, not like you're negative and always pointing out things that could go wrong, but you just see a lot of different outcomes that could occur. And this is actually going to go along with my next one because we don't want to get too caught up in that. We don't want to get stuck in that analysis paralysis or in that fear state. But as project managers, we should be able to look forward and see We should be able to critically think about the steps that we're taking and some of the things that could go wrong or may not work out exactly as we have planned. We should be able to see that, and we should be able to craft plans that create alternative routes in there. And that's where number 6 comes in, which is while you are aware of these risks, you are also skilled at crafting often very creative solutions to get around some of these situations or to create alternative paths. So you have that brain that's like, okay, this might not work out, or we may run into a problem here or there. You could see that, but you don't let it stop you. Instead, you come up with alternative solutions, and you always have them. You always have them ready. A great project manager can do that. They don't let those things completely slow them down. They don't let those things scare them. They are good leaders in that they keep moving forward, and the team has confidence in them as they keep moving forward, even though they know there's some unknowns, right? There's always going to be some unknowns. And that leads to number 7, which is because you are able to see those risks and come up with potential situations, you don't let it rattle you when things don't work out exactly as you have planned. And this is a big lesson for early career project managers, and that is your plan will never work out exactly as you have it laid out. And we have to come to terms with that. That's why it's so important for us to learn how to think in a way that doesn't stop us from moving forward. We can appropriately evaluate risks and come up with alternatives, but we still move forward, right? And we don't let that stuff rattle us. I taught a class to middle school and high school students. It was a project management class. And I will never forget one class when I asked, what do you think leadership is? What does that mean to you? And one of my students said, my parents always tell me confidence is calm. And I was like, you know what? That right there, that is it. And every project manager needs to hear that, because confidence is calm. Confidence is not freaking out because the plan didn't work out, because we went over budget, or we're going to run out of money, or, there's a problem here, there's a problem there. There's always going to be problems. But being calm, staying firm, staying steady, that does a lot for you as a person internally and for your team. So it's a good lesson for all project managers out there. Number 8, I love this one. You have an uncanny ability to read the room. Without very many words being said, you might know who the decision maker is. You might know even how someone feels. You just know. You're good at reading the room. You're good at people skills. You're good at understanding psychology and people and how people think. And you're aware, you're self-aware, and you're aware of your surroundings too, and how other people are interacting through their body language, through the things that are unsaid. You're really good at reading the room. And this is important for project managers, as there is a huge human element to our jobs. It goes along with that first one, communication. We have to be good at communication, and we have to have those people skills, those leadership skills. And I've noticed that project managers who excel often have this kind of like next level understanding of other people and feelings and emotional intelligence and all of these things that maybe we didn't think were that important back in the day, but now we're seeing they are. So if this is you, that's a big sign that this might be the right path for you. You can learn all of that other stuff. You can learn the frameworks, the tools, all of that stuff you can learn. But this understanding people, that's deeper. That's deeper. That can be learned too, but it's deeper. And if you have it, you have it. Number 9 sort of goes along with that, and that's that you make a natural mediator, because you're often able just to see different sides. You're able to understand where people are coming from, and so you're able to come up with solutions that serve everyone involved. But on top of that, people trust you because you've exhibited your people skills, your emotional intelligence. They know that they can trust you to help make the best decisions. So you're often put in this mediator role. Now, I recently collaborated on a book. It's called Executing Excellence, and I'll put the link in the video description below. But one of my favorite chapters in this book, there's 10 chapters, all written by various project managers. One of my favorite chapters is chapter 10 by Mark Rosner, and he wrote a chapter called Finding the Function in Dysfunction. It's just an awesome insight into how the hard stuff that we go through can actually help us in our future lives, in our professional lives. It can help us, especially if we've been through specific kinds of hard things in our lives, and we have this heightened awareness of other people and emotions and things like that, that can actually serve us quite well in our role as project managers. So Mark Rosner goes into detail about how that all works and how it all plays out in this book. So I would encourage you to read that if that's something that speaks to you and is interesting to you. Again, I'll put the link in the video description box below. Okay, and the last sign is you recognize the value of each person on the team, and you know how to tap into their strengths to use them to more effectively accomplish the project. Again, this goes back to your people skills. It goes back to being able to read the room and understand people and build relationships with people so that they trust you. It goes back to being able to put those puzzle pieces together, see what different people are strong in, what areas they're strong in, because these things are not always spoken. And a great project manager can pick up on those things, and they can put these puzzle pieces together in a way that really serves that project. So if this is you, if this speaks to you, if these 10 things have you nodding your head and you're like, oh, I am that person, then I would encourage you to look further into project management, because this might be the right career path for you. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below on this video. I'm also available if you're interested in getting into project management or specifically into freelance project management. I have several resources that can help you with that. My freelance project management ebook is out there. I have several videos on this channel that are specifically around that topic, and I also do offer one-on-one strategy sessions. I will provide the links to all of those things in the video description box below. And as always, I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye.